Let's hope. I think we are. So I'm going to teach this sucker. All right. All right. So we're talking about, so we did the 20s last time. You know, the flappers and the jazz and the Harlem Renaissance and the Red Scare and all that stuff. All right. So now we're talking about the stock market crash. All right. So you got three presidents. In the 20s. All right, so, hey, let's do all the presidents so far. Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Quincy, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, Hayes, Garfield, Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson. Here we go. Harding, Coolidge, Hoover. All right, these are our 20s guys. So Harding, all three of them were conservative. You know, believed in this thing called laissez-faire. They leave business alone. Harding's kind of like a lot like Joe Biden. His campaign slogan was "Return to normalcy." You know, I may need to put that in there. And people were tired of the war. People are tired of progressivism. People are tired of like Wilson trying to fix the country and make the country better all the time. So they just kind of want to get back to the good old days. So really, almost it's kind of a combination of Trump and Biden, in the sense that he's wanting to go back to the good old days, but he's wanting to, the good old days of things are kind of calm. All right, so they're going to cut taxes for the big business. They're going to leave the railroads alone. The government's not going to do so much. All right, now the two big causes to deregulate. Regulate means to control. So if you regulate the economy, like when I hit the thermostat in the room, that's regulating the temperature, right? So to regulate the economy would be like minimum wage, maximum hours, workman's comp, where the government's telling businesses what to do. All right, now you're going to have two causes of the stock market crash. So first is going to be speculation. So when you speculate, you make an educated guess. In this case, what kind of stock's going to go up? So everybody want to make, during the 20s, everybody kind of want to make easy money. So you can really make easy money if you invest in the stock market and you just make a lot of money. You're not doing work. You just sit there while your investment makes money. All right, so speculation. All right. Margin bonds when you borrow money to buy stock. Okay, all right. So those are the causes of the stock market crash. All right, and so in other words, so what happened was, if everybody's buying something, what happens to the price? What's everybody buying right now? I don't know. All right, I don't buy crap. All right, but if everybody's buying some kind of computer, everybody's buying some particular music thingy, something technology, whatever the next big thing is, whatever, makes a hit on Shark Tank. If everybody's buying it, the price will go up. All right, so everybody's buying stock. And so that caused the price of the stock go up, until one day people say, you know what? That stock ain't worth that much money. All right, so then the folks in the know sell their stock, and then prices go down a little bit. So then some more folks sell their stock, price go down more, and more folks sell their stock to where everybody's trying to get rid of it. Nobody wants it, so the price goes way down. So that's a crash. All right. Okay. All right. So the stock market crash it's called Black Tuesday, October 29th, 1929. So now look down there below where it says don't copy. So stock prices rose, kept on going up as more and more people buying stock. But then everybody panics and feels like, hey, the price shouldn't be that high. So then they sell, and the price goes down, and more people panic, and so then they sold, and the price goes down. Panic, sell, price down. Panic, sell, price down. Again, until you got a crash. So that's the logic of the stock market crash. Okay, bank runs. All right, so when the stock market's crashing, people, they can't like people had they had their life savings, and banks had loaned out money. Remember, people buying on credit during the 20s, and then on top of that, people buying stock on credit. That's margin buying. So everybody panics, goes running to the banks. Well, banks only keep about 10% of our investment in them. All right. Like, so all of us put $1,000 in the bank. So that's like $20,000. The bank is going to keep maybe $2,000 and invest the rest of the $1,800, and then it gives interest on its investment. It can pay us interest, for our money that we keep in the bank. All right, but everybody goes running the bank. Well, first two people get all the money out. All right, so these bank runs, everybody goes run the bank. It's a bank run, cause suicides. All right, bank closing, suicides. All right, so what's going to happen? So suicide rate went up. There was like a sad joke, like a dark joke, that when people would say they wanted in a room in a high-rise motel, the clerk there would say, would that be for sleeping or jumping? In other words, you're going to spend the night there, you're just going to rent out the room, then you jump out the top floor, because you've lost your life savings. All right, so, suicide rate went up. All right. Farmers were producing too much. Tractors had been invented by this point, so they could really plant a lot of crops. But if you got all these crops, the price goes down. So the overproduction is going to hurt. All right? Okay. So, hey, I'm going to hush for a second. Y'all go ahead and answer those questions. I'm breathing. Okay, boom. All right, so we've looked at the crash causes. It's the speculation and the margin buy. So now we got depression causes. Tick, 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 boom. All right. It's like a bomb fixing to drop out. All these things fixing to go off. All these things going on at the same time. First off, tariff was real high. Like the Republicans didn't like the income tax, so they were going to go back to the tariff for making money. But the problem is taxing the heck out of British and French and German stuff. They're going to get mad and tax our stuff. Also, nobody's buying anything from anybody. World trade goes down. So the tariff pushed down world trade, which was bad for the economy. Inequality. If a few folks have all the money and then the factory owner, the factory workers don't have any money, remember everybody except for Ford wasn't paying people very much money. Well, then they can't buy the stuff. Well, they can't buy the stuff. You get a surplus. A bunch of stuff just kind of sitting there in each factory. All right, and then the factory's not making any money. What do they got to do? Well, they got to lay people off. Well, then they lay people off. What happens? The people can't buy anything. It's bad for business. Factory closed. So it's this vicious cycle here too. All right, the crash itself was a cause, and then buying on credit because people couldn't pay back the banks. They couldn't pay back the banks when they borrowed money for buying stuff. All right, so the smoot, I kind of like that. The smoot Holly tariff hurt world trade. So that there's the tariff problem. All right, let's see. So there's the inequality. So it's just kind of describing the inequality. Overproduction, underconsumption. The factory workers can't buy anything. All right, so what does Hoover do about it? All right, who was the president? Remember, who was our World War I hero who fed people in Belgium and got people to ration voluntarily? All right, well, he did some stuff. More than any, it's a sad story. The story of Hoover. One of these days I'm going to buy me a biography of Herbert Hoover. Maybe soon. All right, maybe I'm going to get on Amazon today, buy me a biography of Herbert Hoover. All right, but he did stuff. The government built this dam, so it's putting a lot of people to work, and it's helping farmers out west. But overall, he tried to make loans to businesses. He's helping out, bailing out businesses. He's giving farmers free food for their animals, but he's not helping poor people. So he's helping rich people and animals, but not poor people. That makes him pretty unpopular. So you got 25% of folks without work. You got these homeless camps called Hoovervilles. You got these veterans marching on Washington called the Bonus Army. If you got an empty pocket, that's called a Hoover flag. I think that's in the next heading, though. All right, same deal. Nice and easy for me to give this lecture if nobody's interacted with me. Takes me all of 15 minutes, where usually in class takes a whole dang period. Well, Mackenzie, if you weren't saying so long-winded, quit being a hater. Shut up. Well, if anybody who was thinking that, you tell those hater thoughts to shut up. Tell them to quit being a hater brain. Hater brain. That's what you are. You're a hater brain. All right. I got to go down just a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I kind of like this one better. Okay. All right. Now, hey, you ain't got it right, but let's look at this explanation thing. Factories produce a lot cheaply. People will often say everybody's. So you got overproduction, under consumption. They're producing more than people are buying. All right. Business lost money. People borrow things that couldn't pay off debt. Business maybe not. I kind of like that one better. All right. Okay, last. All right, so you got 25% unemployment. That's real shock to male identity. The depression is a man depression. The men just didn't know what to do. All right, because the men had always been the breadwinners. Now they can't take care of the family. So you're not a man anymore. You don't feel like a man. What's the difference between a boy and a man? You can count on a man. Everybody say that. What's the difference between a boy and a man? You can count on a man. All right. 60% of kids didn't have enough to eat. All right, so shock to American identity. We're supposed to be the land of opportunity, and we can't feed our nation's children. All right, so these Hoovervilles, people went to soup kitchens and bread lines in order to survive. They're getting their food just from handouts. So it's so bad for men's pride. And then everything's named after Hoover. He's blamed for it. So Hoovervilles, these like homeless camps, and they're making their houses like boxes, cardboard boxes and boards and stuff like that. Hoover flags his empty pocket. Hoover sues this soup with nothing in it. So he's probably the most, if Washington is the most popular president ever, Hoover's the least popular. It's not the worst. Harding Coolidge is probably worse than he was because he tried to do stuff about it. But he's probably our least, and like Buchanan right before the Civil War really bad. He's probably our least popular president ever. All right, so then you get the Dust Bowls. All right, in the Midwest, farmers had overfarmed their land. They plowed up all that dry land, and they done it a whole lot. They'd overproduced their crops, price going down, and then these dust storms come. They just kind of blow everything away, blow away their crops. All right, so that's probably this lady here is probably most famous picture from the Great Depression. I mean, she's depressed and she doesn't know what to do for her kids there. And hey, where's her husband at? What happened to him? All right, and she's part of these. She's a victim of the Dust Bowl. So a lot of folks moved out to California looking for work. All right, there we go. All right, so I'll hush for a second, answer those questions, and then boom. All right, tick, 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 boom. All right, and then what do I got to do? I got to go up here. Then let's hope this dang video works.